All right, guys. Back for day 2 of OCF at-home workouts. And so got my trusty sheet of paper here. First of all, if you don't have a notebook and a pen, if there's anything you should be trying to hoard right now, get a couple notebooks and some goddamn pens and start writing some things down on paper and connecting and doing that. But this is my flow for today. I wrote this morning. All right, so first, my thought of the day. I've spent a healthy amount of time learning and taking in information. It's one of my favorite things to do with my time, is to hide somewhere, go and read and learn or watch something. And the way I consume information is I love to get it all. Like if there's a book I want to read for 2 hours, I want to just sit there and really absorb it all. The breaking things up is not for me. I want to take it all in and feel it all. I really enjoy it that way. Anyways, I wanted to start off talking a little bit about history. History is one of our greatest teachers, right? That's where we learn. Not that I want us to live in the past, yet we learn a lot from the past. And one of my favorite parts of history that I studied as I was growing as a leader was Roman history. I felt very called to explore the Roman Empire and that type of history. I imagine at first, due to my Italian descent, and then also to the understanding that this organized, amazing, vast empire was also something very interesting to look at, right? And obviously it's cool with movies. One of my favorite books, Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, came from that era. But I want to talk more about a specific battle and a specific man and how it really pertains to how you can be showing up right now, or who do you want to be showing up right now? Because what the world has done that I think is causing the most havoc is we've gone from a state of doing and being in a state of doing to realizing now who are you being? That is the gift of the real game. And some people have already been on this. You've been working on who you've been being. And so I'm willing to bet the people that have been really focused on who they've been being and showing up as every day versus what have they been doing and being busy and being overly productive are more at peace and pace during this period than the ones that have chosen to be busy, or they have to do this and they got to do this and they got to go do this, versus the people that are being. Maybe those people move a little bit slower because the concern, or the focus, or I say, not the concern, is how am I showing up and who am I being? So there was this battle. Okay, so at one time there was what people really understood during the earth, and please, historians, if I'm a little inaccurate, please understand that I'm getting to an anecdote, nor do I even have a college education. This is just my understanding of the story as I recall it. So there was the Romans and there was the Gauls. The Gauls were basically anyone that was a barbarian, anyone that wasn't really organized, right? So we got these organized Roman dudes and girls, everybody, Roman Empire. And these other people that were just tribal people, okay, and out there. And Rome's goal was to conquer and grow their empire very vast, okay? And one of there was a battle called Valesia, okay? And this was a very pivotal battle. And at the time, Julius Caesar was a general in the army. This was before there was even an emperor in Rome, okay? And I really, in my heart, believe strongly that after this battle, this is why they chose to allow an emperor, because Julius Caesar had so much power, or showed that he was able to access so much power through the people. And so there's Alasia, right? They're chasing, the Roman soldiers are chasing down these group of Gauls. And there's more Roman soldiers than there are Gauls, okay? And so they wind up looking for the Gauls, and they find this tribe of Gauls, and they chase them up, top of a mountain. Okay, and so what Rome figures is like, hey, we're just gonna set up shop at the bottom, at the base of this mountain, and we'll let these guys starve. We don't need to fight to kill them, right? You know, if you could win a battle without putting your soldiers in danger, why wouldn't you, right? Like, why? You know, I get it. It makes total sense. And so they set up camp and all this stuff. And what do I imagine at first, these Roman soldiers who've been fighting all this time, killing all these people, conquering all these lands, being away from their family. They finally get to just set up house, stand post, and make sure no one's coming out. And these guys are going to die. We're good. We're in the middle of nowhere. Everything is busy. Okay. And I imagine that the scene looks much like the first time Forrest Gump arrives in Vietnam. You know, people are smoking cigars. They got steaks on the grill. Lieutenant Dan's all good and all this stuff. No one's saluting anyone. They're just hanging out, right? Very loose time. And everyone's feeling good. We're gonna let these guys die, and we're gonna go home. We're gonna live a beautiful life, right? And what wound up happening is the Gauls found a kink in the Roman fortress, and they wound up escaping, a few of them. And they went and recruited all the other Gauls. They went and found some more. And now, Gauls showed up, a lot of them. And now Rome was the one that was trapped, because there was guys on top. There was these Romans that were sitting around smoking the cigars, flipping the steaks, walking around in their short mudans, enjoying the weather. And then there's these huge group of Gauls on the other side now. And now it's like, holy crap. Morale is down, right? The Roman soldiers do not feel prepared, right? And then many people right now are walking around not feeling prepared. And what that first causes is scarcity, right? Like, what are we going to do? We need to hoard things. We need to, how can we get some sort of control? Because our external environment is not allowing us any control. How can we get control of something external? When in reality, control is internal. And so this war begins, this battle begins, this battle of Alasia begins. And Julius Caesar was a general at this time. He's watching this all happen, and he's got this big red cape. Julius Caesar, this chingon man, and chingon of a man and a leader. And he's seeing this, and obviously as a general, this guy could go figure out how to hide and run away and be guarded forever as the general. And he sees that his soldiers are about to go into this battle, and they are very, very uninspired, and they're not prepared. They're feeling deflated. And so Julius Caesar, what he decides to do in this battle is he decides to jump off his horse and draw his sword and fight side by side with his men. And they see this. These outnumbered Roman soldiers see this, that their leader is willing to die to be with them. And now this, and it leads a wildfire spread of inspiration. And all of a sudden, these gods, these soldiers feel inspired, like the divine gods are with them, because the one man that could turn this around swooped down and showed them that he's with them. He's with them as people, and that he was going to be with them. And the reason I share this story with you is because, to some degree, and to all of us, inspire each other and affect each other on the smallest levels in your homes, to even smaller, how you look at the person next to you when you're at a red light, or when you're checking out in the grocery store, to to the people that may lead hundreds of thousands and millions of people. We all have some sort of leadership. That that general, we all assume that role. And we could, argue about how many numbers or anything like that. Yet it is all true. We are all influencing each other to be inspired or to be scarce. We are inspiring or we're scarce. And so the reason I share that story with you is after that, in Rome 1, Julius Caesar was the greatest, right? He inspired these people to be better and grow, and he wound up becoming an emperor and all these things. And I know that it didn't work out for him in the end. And yet, what kind of life do you really want to lead? Who do you want to be in your story of your life? There's two outcomes to what's going on right now in this world, right? The first is that we're going to make it, which, we're going to get through this, which I strongly and firmly believe. And let's say we don't. Let's say this is really it, right? This is it, guys. We are on our farewell tour as humans. True. I'm not talking about Rolling Stones' farewell tour. That thing's been going on since I was born. But I'm talking about true farewell tour. It's our last at-bats as being humans. Who do you want to be in the story? Who do you want your soul, your soul's going to stay, right? And this soul, what do you want it to look like? What do you want your people, this next souls, to feel from your soul? And are you walking around inspiring people, being with them side by side, showing them that you are, Julius Caesar-like? Or are you scarce? And so this is a call for opportunity and inspiration to realize that we are all leaders. I'm a leader, you're a leader, to the smallest, to the biggest, because we all have influence. That's what leadership is. It's your ability to influence others. And so when you're seeing someone, are you jumping off your horse despite your own fears yourself with a smile and courage, showing up? Or are you thinking of all the reasons that you're just living in your own fears? You don't think Julius Caesar was scared? And so I really wanted to share that story with you guys. I really love that. It inspires me to want to be this leader for you all. And it helps me remember who I really am in the story and who I want to be remembered for and who I want my family to look at me as and who I want to look at myself as, more importantly than anything else. And I urge you all to find out who are you in the story and play it well. Very good. All right, 2 minutes of breathing, okay? I have 10,000 different breathing protocols. Like I mentioned yesterday, we are in season. The most important thing we can do when we are in season, when our bodies, our training needs to be more about how can I keep my body in the best position to focus on who I'm being, right? We want to show up in the best position that we're being. If we come to the gym and you're training or doing anything right now, and you're still focused on beating the crap out of yourself, you are more focused on doing and not who are you being, because we don't want to be in a state of doing anymore. We need to be in a state of doing so we're ready. So we are ready that if we need to do anything, we are open to it. But if you are pulverizing yourself at the gym and doing all these things, you are not open to the other things. So 2 minutes of breathing, any breathing protocol that you want. The rule is doing your breath to take the biggest, most controlled breath that you can. You can start on the floor, just lying down. Just go 2 minutes. Try to breathe in and out of your nose. If you can't, go in your nose, out your mouth. But it's just about having good control, just like that. I'm going to show you guys a few. I'm going to lay it out on the ground. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. It doesn't need to be hippy-dippy. All we're just trying to say is we know what it's like to get into your breath. So I say 2 minutes. Truth is, you should be doing this as long as you possibly, really can to get deeper into it. But 2 minutes is a good enough time that it'll ground you and get you ready to go. So, sliding down here, feet flat on the ground, belly down here. You can put one hand on your chest, one hand on the belly. Make sure this is filling up first. This is last going in, and then opposite going out. So here you go. And the whole point is to just connect to the wave. That's all we want you to do. Connect to the wave, connect to the wave, connect to the wave. Okay. Next thing is I'm going to show you our mobility warm-up, our mobility flow. Very simple. We're going to just get through all of the joints, get our hips moving, get our bodies prepared to get moving. And then I'm going to show you our sort of what would be our strength or, sort of durability work. And then today we're going to have a little bit more conditioning. And we're just going to have a great time. Okay, guys? Here we go. Let me back this up a little bit so we can get everything in the frame. All right. All right. Toes as straight as you can. Feel the earth root through the ground. If you're doing this at home, do it barefoot. Feel the ground. Feel the connection to the earth. Please let your shoes go for a few days. Push your feet through the ground. Get tall. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Pull your shoulders back. Pull your chin back. And say, hang out here for a second and check in how your body's feeling. Once you're good, feel stable. Feel what's happening. Up and down in the neck. I would say 10 reps. Really focusing on this extension right here, because most of us spend in flexion. After those 10 are done, 3 circles in each direction. Okay. From there, arms out to the side. Get some shoulder circles going. I would say about 30 seconds here. You want to really feel like the belly's engaged. You don't want to be breaking apart. And you want to feel like the shoulders have sort of a slight burn to them, like you're really using them, right? We're going to flip them back. Go this way. 15 to 20 circles or 30 seconds, whatever you feel like is better for you. I like the time because you don't have to think, you can just go, you don't have to count, you can just be in your body. That's why I love a lot of the prescription I'm going to write is time-based. So it allows you just to be in your body more and focus on your movement versus, am I on the 26th rep, 27th rep, all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of times that gets us in a state of doing and not being connected to the body. After you're done with that, I want you guys to have your shoulders should be feeling warm, open and close them now. Just get that opened up. Really ready to go, feeling really good. Just like that. After about 10 or 15 of those, feet a little bit wider, do some hip circles. Really just move around, check it out, go both directions, no right or wrong. Spend about 30 seconds here, up to 45. Feel you need a little extra room there, pause there. Just see where the hips are when it's getting blood flowing there. Sure, when you get up here towards the top, the butt squeezing. After that, get into the knees a little bit, toes rock up in here. And then we're going to do some runner's lunge twists. Okay, we're going to take a big step back. You're going to put your leg up here. Okay, if you need to, you can put this knee down. It's no big deal. It's not what this is about. I'm really focused on this hip, making sure this foot's here. Take your hand, reach, rotate. And at the top here, make sure you can take a breath in. Here. Yeah, 5 to 10 per side. But get that breath in. So when you breathe into it, the body naturally settles into it a lot better. So just slow down during that. It doesn't need to be fast. All right, so we have 3 movements today. I'm going to show you exactly what they are. We have the split squat with a tempo, 3 to 5 seconds down, a bent over broomstick row, which I have my pop stick back there, which we'll have fun with, and then we have dead bugs. 20 to 80 seconds per movement times 1 to 3 sets. Okay, and I like doing it this way. If you want to do reps, you could do reps. I would say split squat at this 3 to 5 second tempo is probably around like 4 to 6 per leg. The bent over row at the tempo, we're going to go really slow with a lot of slowing, eccentric, and holding. I would say it'll probably be around 8 to 10. Dead bugs, I'd keep these down to around like 5 reps if you're looking for that, because this is a very easy movement to do poorly versus the other ones are much easier to see. And so I'm going to go through this, and then I'm going to show you our conditioning for today. So a split squat. So a split squat will most likely, a split squat really looks to me, and maybe to a lot of people, like a lunge. It is. And the only major difference that I'm going to talk about today is moving up and down versus traveling like we go on a lunge. And we're going to do some lunges later in the conditioning. So this is a great way to really practice. So your stance, let's get it really similar to a lunge, right? Nice stable front leg, more stable than what I just started with, right? And then we have our back leg nice and strong. We're on the big toe, ball of foot. My feet are nice and in line. Here's it from the side. Okay, so I'm going to be here, space myself out. All right. Now keep in mind, I have 10 screws and a plate in my left foot, so you may extend a little bit higher than me. That's totally cool. Some of you may extend the same as me. You might have tight ankles. Also very cool. So we're going to be here, and let's just call this my top position. I want all of my foot on the ground, and this is as high as I can go, keeping all of the feet pushing down, right? We're going to travel up and down only, keeping our posture in position. Want my knee under my hip, all this good control, because when my big toe is pushing down, I can squeeze this butt, because that's what protects me here. And then having my front leg here is good. So we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze that butt. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that, guys. Okay? So you can pick your tempo. Might be 2 seconds. The major thing that we want to have is that we always want to have control. Control on the up, control on the down, and hold it. I really believe that speed should be by choice and not by circumstance when you're doing these types of movements. Any movement. The speed should be because you choose it, not because you're off balance and you think you need to move fast through it, right? Not by circumstance, by choice. As you can see, my legs were already working through there. Love this. Great exercise. Really shows a lot of up and down control. Allows us to have pauses at the top and bottom, which allows us to focus on the isometric, just holding. And then we have the eccentric and concentric. So we're training our legs in all the ways that we really want to have good control. The next thing is the bent over broomstick row. We're going to train it at the same tempo we just did for the split squats, having that control over there. So I know these are at-home workouts. So I'm making an assumption that you have something that resembles a broomstick, a mop stick, or anything like that. If you do not, how do you clean your house? That's what I want. Even if you don't do it, how does this house get cleaned without having something like this? Right, guys? It's a joke. Laugh about it. Find something that looks like a stick. Even a kid's wiffle baseball bat will look good. Okay? I like doing a supinated grip, underhand grip. because as you see in our warm-up, this really sets our shoulders in a great position. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to start in this top position. And all I'm going to do is have a slight bend in my knee. And I'm going to push my butt back until I feel my hamstrings are working. I'm just going to hold that position. This is good. Now, if you notice, my back's not round here. My chest is up nice and tall. So I'm feeling tension in my legs and my hamstrings. I've got a really strong position, and my shoulders are back. I'm really making sure that my pinky is turning forward even when I'm holding something. So I'm here in this position. Like I'm saying, my pinky isn't, my fingers aren't like this. Pinkies are forward. That allows me a good open position. So I'm going to be here, keeping my head nice and neutral. I'm going to go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze. And what you're focused on squeezing is where your bra strap would be. Right in that middle back. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Now, when you get to the bottom here, you're not relaxing. You're holding this thing like someone's trying to take it away from you. 3, 4, 5. Boom. Just like that. Move through those reps. You'll feel it, okay? Especially because what we're doing is 5, 5, 5, 5 is 20 seconds per rep. I mean, you are really putting a lot of time under tension here because we're at home and we have body weight, and this is the best way to do it, okay? At least this is the best way that we feel you should be able to do it. I'm sure there's 80 other thousand ways. This is what we got for today, babies. All right, last but certainly not least is the dead bug. Dead bug's all about your core. Now, this one's going to take a lot of nuances for athletes, so I'm going to give a couple different versions of what we want to do. The main thing about the dead bug is that you keep your head relaxed on the ground and you keep your lower back pushed on the ground the entire time. I don't care how much you want to move your leg, anything like that, or your arms. We want to keep these things there. And what we're trying to do is imagine that we're trying to keep the pelvis, this part of our body, linked together no matter what we're moving, right? And we're saying that we can keep this link together if we're moving, even if we're moving our head, if we're moving our arms or moving our legs. Why does this matter? Because this is the core, right? This is your pelvic floor of your body. This is super important to have control of, because if I control this and then move this, I have really good stability. If I move this without that, you look like, you guys ever drive past a Jackson Hewitt or whatever those places are called, and there's that thing, or the car dealership that's sort of like this? This is what most of us look like when we move. And then people are like, oh, my back hurts. Well, it's like you've been blowing around trying to get me to pull in for the, zero financing, 0% down financing, okay? More than you look like you can control your own body. So that's going to be our first focus. So you may get on the ground and get your legs here at 90 degrees and hold this position, right? And what you want to do is you want to pull your knees out to the degree that you already feel this engaging, right? I don't want your lower back to come up, so don't let them come up that far, right? You should already be turned on, and you should feel like you're squeezing your belly to be here. And for many of you, this may be the first progression. You're sitting here and holding. Then the next one could be try with your arms extended, right? This could be there. And if you are not able to really hold this that well, this is where you're at right now. Okay, so we have just getting in the position, holding it with no arms up, then arms up. And the third progression is adding some sort of movement to challenge, okay? And so for today, I'm going to show you 2 progressions. One, you could go legs only, and then 2, legs and arms. So we have 4 different levels. You pick which one where you're at. They're all good and important. I practice all of them. In my practice, it's not that I'm a level 4 and I stay up here. You go through all of them. You have a good time and you explore them because they all have different benefits. Okay, so I'm here, legs only. My arms would be here. And then what I would do is I'd move one leg at a time, focusing on one leg moving and keeping this control. Here, back, here, coming back. Let's make sure the knees don't come in too much. And if I'm moving my right leg or left leg, whatever leg, The other leg is not moving, so we're not seeing this. Right? I'm here, just one goes, one stays. Okay? And then the next progression, the harder, more difficult one, is you're here, 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 here. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Come back up. And you would only extend your leg as far as you could go with the lower back down. So maybe you're here for right now. And that's much better than extending for the sake of extending, right? We need to get past what's the guy next to us, girl doing, you know, guy, girl, or what's the biggest progression, because that's where I think I belong. You belong where your body tells you you belong. You don't fight against your body, you work with it. And that's what's the most important thing I hope you're gaining from this training, is the body is more like a beautiful woman than it is a hard man. And when you try to only treat your body like this masculine energy, you do what I say, and do, the more your body's gonna not work for you. The more you realize that you need to make love to your body, you have to be warm to your body, the more your body's gonna give you everything that you really want, I promise you. And the more we move away from that idea of beating our bodies over our heads, the more you're gonna see a big change. So that's the strength. Split squat, bent over row with the broom, dead bug, and all that good stuff. Okay? So have some fun with that. For our conditioning today, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off until you complete the workout. Okay? So 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off until completion. 50 burpees, 30 sit-ups, 100 lunge steps, 30 sit-ups, and 50 burpees. None of this is weighted, okay? So first, before I go into all the movements, 50 burpees, in my opinion, is, I've imagined that this is someone that could do 10 burpees a minute, okay? If you're not at 10 burpees a minute, like if you had to do with a minute pace, because we're only doing 30 seconds, but if you imagine you're not at that pace, cut these down to be at what's your 1 minute pace. 30 seconds of sit-ups, 30 seconds of sit-ups. Oh, Cayenne. Cayenne, I'm recording the video right now for our listeners. Thank you for jumping on, but we are not ready. Talk to you later.
Okay.
Guys, this is what happens when you record via Zoom and everybody and the mother knows your Zoom link, but it's all good. Then you got 30 sit-ups. I'm going to go over those. And then we have 100 lunge steps. I'm going to go over all those. Okay, so burpees. So 30 on, 30 off till you do 50, 30, 100, 30, 50. So 3, 2, 1, go. You do 30 seconds of burpees. Get that done. See how many you got. Let's say you do 4. Or let's say you do 6, right? And you work towards that, right? And you get a 30-second break, and you're working towards these numbers. Okay, so for the burpees, you have 2 options, right? You have the standard option, dropping all the way down and coming all the way up. Or you could do the option of keeping your arms locked out and then coming up. And as you notice on the second rep, I step back. You can step back at any option. It's totally cool, okay? For the sit-ups, you can push your feet up against the wall. You can put your feet up here together just like this. Ears in this position, really nice. Holding here, backing up, or you can put your feet up against the wall. If you can't do a full sit-up, do the best version of just getting your body up and crunching up and down. Next is the lunge step. So this is alternating legs, and it's 100 total, so it's 50 per leg, okay? So once you keep going, 30 off, 30 sit-ups is done. All right, that next 30-second interval is going to start. Just start doing nice lunges, right? And what I want you guys to do is, woo, my legs are sore from my work yesterday. What I want you guys to focus on is not breaking your knee into the floor. Do it more controlled. Maybe I did a couple poor examples there. I'm going to show you some better ones now that I know what I'm working with, okay? So there you go. Maybe I only go down here for the first few. Come right back. Boom here, come right back. And just work on being in control of your body the whole time, especially after those split squats. One, you might be tired, but two, I'm willing to bet you're going to know exactly your spacing and how things should feel. And that's what we got today. We got our strength, which is the split squats, the broomstick party, and then the dead bugs. And then we have the conditioning, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off until completion. And then we have that, right? And so here's our work for today, guys. One more time. Here's the strength. And here's the conditioning, right? And don't forget what we talked about before. Battle of Alasia, Julius Caesar. Who are you guys being? Who are we being? Okay? And how are we showing up? It's really important. Love you guys. Let's continue to realize that this is a state of, this is a game of who are we being? And the ones that have only been focused on doing are the ones that are in not the best place. And they're trying to solve a problem by doing. And the thing is that you can't solve this by doing. It has to be solved by who we're being. So remember that you are all influencers. We are all leaders. We all possess this. And I'm very sorry if you want to lay around and say that you didn't choose this or martyrdom or all those things and all this. This is not up for discussion. This is humanity. So be the leader that you would want. Be the leader that you have inside of you, because from the smallest levels to the biggest levels, we are all each other's leaders and Buddhas. I love you guys. Have a beautiful Tuesday. Bye-bye.